How do we find an equation of a tangent line to a curve at a given point? Remember, whenever we want to find an equation of a line, we need two things. The first thing is the point, and in this case we have it right here, and that's very nice. And the other thing is we need a slope. And this is where we have to use calculus because the slope of the tangent line is the derivative. And for now, we will be using the limit definition for the derivative to get the slope. So here, let's just go ahead and get to work. This right here is our function. I will denote that by f of x. And then, of course, this right here is the x value that we want. So that will be the a. And correspondingly, this will just be f of a. So now, let's go ahead and just get the slope, namely f prime of a, and that will just be 2. So we will just do the limit as x approaching 2, right, like this. And then we will have to have f of x, which is that. So let me write that down. We have 4x minus 3x squared. And then we will have to minus f of a. F of a is negative 4. So we minus negative 4, like this. And then on the bottom, we have x minus a. So in this case, it will just be x minus the a value, which is 2. So that's the setup. And let me tell you, if you plug in 2 into all the x's, you are guaranteed to get 0 over 0 because that's how this is set up. You always get 0 over 0 for this. So let's just go ahead and do more work to simplify this and then figure out the limit. Notice that this is a quadratic, so let's rearrange this a little bit. So let's go ahead and write this down one more time. The limit as x approaching 2. And then let me write that down, which is negative 3x squared plus 4x. And then this is plus 4 over x minus 2. Now, can we factor the top? Yes. And let me show you guys that on the side here. I will show you guys with the tic-tac-toe method. But first, notice that we have a negative in front of the x squared right here, right? So it's actually a good idea to factor out the negative. So let's do that. So we have negative parentheses 3x squared minus 4x and then minus 4. And then let's use the tic-tac-toe method to factor out this trinomial. Draw the tic-tac-toe boxes right here. And to get 3x squared, we need 3x and x. And then what times 4 give us negative 4? We need 2 and negative 4. Order matters. We are going to put negative 2 here and 2 here because when we do this times that, we get negative 6x. And when we do 2 times x, we get 2x. Together, this and that, we end up with negative 4x. So we know that we have found our combination. And keep in mind though, when we want to write down the answer, we will go across. So let me show you. Here we have the limit as x approaching 2. So just keep writing it down until we finish. Okay, this right here, we have a negative, so don't forget about this negative. And then we have x, well this is 3x plus 2. We are going to read across. Earlier, we cross multiplied it to check. But the answer is 3x plus 2. And then the other one is x minus 2. And on the bottom, we have that x minus 2. And you know it, we can cancel things out. Here, let's go ahead and cross this out and also cross that out. And then we can just put a 2 into this x. So we are going to get negative parentheses 3 times 2 and then plus 2. So that's 6 plus 2, but that's negative. Altogether, we get negative 8. And that's the slope of the tangent line at a equals 2. Next, we can use, well, we have the point and also the slope. So we can use the point slope form of the line. So let's go ahead and use y minus y1 being equal to the slope, which is denoted by m, x minus x1. And of course, this right here is our good old point slope form of a line from algebra. However, we are talking about like the a and f of a and things like that. So let me just write this as f of a. We get y minus f of a, which is just the same as y1. And the slope m is just the same as f prime of 2 in our case. But let me also write it as f prime of a to follow this notation. And lastly, we have the x minus x1, which is just 2, which is just a. Yeah. But anyway, either way, as long as you know how to plug in, it's okay. So let's go ahead and do it. Y minus f of a, which is negative 4, and then that's equal to f prime of a, which is f prime of 2, and that's negative 8, times x minus a is 2. So this is what we have. And now let's just work it out, get the y by itself, the good old business. So here we have y plus 4, and this is equal to negative 8x plus 16. And then minus 4 on both sides, we get y equals negative 8x plus 12. So, ladies and gentlemen, this right here would be the tangent line to this curve at a equals 2, or x equal to, same thing. So let's look at another equation of a tangent line equation. This time our function is square root of x. So let's label that as f of x. And then for this right here, this is the a and this is f of a. And again, let's go ahead and just get the slope first. We will be using this formula here. The slope is the derivative, namely f prime of 1. So this is the limit as x goes to 1, right? A is 1, keep that in mind. And then we will get the function, which is square root of x, and we will have to minus f of a, which is 1. And the way that they get the 1 is because we put the 1 in the square root. Square root of 1 is 1, so that's why. So this right here is 1. And then on the bottom is x minus a, so we do x minus the a, which is this one, right? So you see that I put all the a, all the ones in red. All right, for this case, we will have to do the conjugate because we have a square root, and this is a 0 over 0 situation. So let's go ahead and multiply the top and bottom by square root of x plus 1 and also square root of x plus 1. Cool. Now, we will have the limit as x approaching 1. When we multiply out the top, we just square this term, which we get x. And then we square this. 1 squared is 1, so we have that. And then the bottom, don't multiply it out, just keep it. Parentheses x minus 1 times square root of x plus 1. And yes, the x minus 1 and the x minus 1 cancel each other out. And we can just plug in the 1 here. We get 1 over square root of 1 plus another 1. Altogether, we get 1/2. Right? Cool. Now, use the point slope form of the line. And this time, I'm going to use the a and also the f of a order notation, okay? All right, so we have y minus f of a is 1. And then f prime of a, which is our derivative, is 1/2. And then we multiply by x minus a is this one. So that's what we have. Again, multiply out the 1/2 and then clean things up. Y minus 1 equals 1/2 times x. And then this times that is minus 1/2. Lastly, let's add the 1 on both sides. So they cancel and we get y by itself and we get 1/2 x. Negative 1/2 plus 1, we get positive 1/2. So ladies and gentlemen, this right here is the equation of the tangent line to square root of x at this point. Alright, one more example. This time our function is 1 over x plus 1, which is denoted by f of x. And then this is our point, so this right here is the a, and this right here is f of a. And you know it, we are going to get the slope first. Here we go. The slope is f prime of negative 2. And then we will just do the limit as x approaching the a value, which is negative 2. And here we have the function, which is 1 over x plus 1. And we are going to minus our f of a value, which is negative 1. So we will have to do minus negative 1 like so. And then on the bottom, we have x minus a, which is x minus the a, which is negative 2, like this. This is a complex fraction situation, and perhaps we will just clean up the negative first, if you guys don't mind. So this is the limit as x approaching negative 2. And we are going to get 1 over x plus 1, and then this is x plus 2. Okay, much better without the negatives. Yeah. When we have a complex fraction in this situation, let's go ahead and multiply the top and bottom by this denominator. So multiply the top and bottom by x plus 1, because that's the only small denominator. That's all we have to do. Okay, here we will have the limit as x approaching -2. This times that is just reduced to be 1. And then this times that, we get plus this, which is x plus 1, over the same thing on the bottom, x plus 2 times x plus 1. And notice the top is just what? 1 plus 1 is 2, so the top is actually just x plus 2. And you see, this and that cancel out precisely. And then we can just put a -2 in here. So ladies and gentlemen, we get 1 over -2 plus 1, and that's going to give us -1 for the slope. And that's just throwing everything into this equation. So we get y minus f of a is -1, sorry. And then this right here is this -1. And x minus a is -2. Cool. All right, work this out real quick. This is just y plus 1, negative x, and be really careful. Negative, 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 so it's still negative, and then we have the 2. Yeah. And lastly, -1 on both sides. Whoa, we get y equals negative x and -3. Okay, so yeah, this is the equation to the tangent line to this curve at this point. So hopefully this video helps. If you need more calculus tutorial, check out my other videos, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you have any questions. As always, that's it.